I'm going to invite you just to do a balancing breath to start with, but maybe soften or close your eyes if you're comfortable to do that. And first, just tune in to your body, your breath, and notice to start with how your body feels. Scan from your toes and pay attention to your breath. Is it shallow or deep, rapid or slow? Are you cutting it short? Notice the points of stillness at the beginning and the end of the breath, the end of the inhale and the end of the exhale. Some people say it's the only time that the mind reaches any stillness is at those points in the breath. And then try counting and inhaling to the count of 4. And exhaling to the count of 4. Your count might be faster or slower than everyone else's, and that's fine. But try and keep it balanced. Inhaling to 4. And exhaling to 4. Inhaling to 4. And exhaling to 4. Now carry on with that breathing pattern. And maybe consider the things that you wish to release, that you no longer need, that no longer serve you. And as you exhale, visualize those things being released, disappearing, letting them go. You may resonate with some of these things. I release unworthiness. I release doubt. I release fear and anger. I release resentment. I release judgment. I release envy or comparisons. I release relationships that do not serve me. I release toxicity from people or situations. Notice your breath again. And maybe keeping your eyes soft and closed, either, if you wish. Come to lying down, stretched out on the mat. And lie down, arms by your side, legs stretched out. And tune back into your breath, your body. Notice the contact with the earth and how your body shifts in places so that you get comfortable. The connection with the ground, giving you that rooting down and feeling of being connected. Lying like this, maybe the palms up, you're open to possibilities. And as you inhale, visualize air filling the body. Allow the belly to rise. Allow the belly to fall. As you inhale, let the belly fill and let the ribs fill, the chest fill. And as you exhale, let them soften. Maybe visualize the diaphragm moving down with the inhale, giving some pressure and massage to the organs of the abdomen. And as you exhale, it softens and releases. As you inhale, the lungs move. They kind of spiral against each other and the lobes against each other within, so they can open and fill into the chest space. And as you exhale, they move back, releasing that air. Notice your inhale and notice your exhale. On the next inhale, flex the left foot and the right hand. Flex the left foot and stretch the right palm wide. And as you exhale, soften. And again, left foot, right hand. Inhale, flex and stretch. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale, flex and stretch. Exhale and soften. Swap sides. Inhale and flex the right foot, left leg. Exhale and soften. Inhale and flex. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale and flex. Exhale and soften. Just pause and notice. And remember, when we're getting our brain to work on opposite sides of the body, those cross-lateral movements, we're just waking up those neural connections in the brain and helping ourselves build resilience. On the next inhale, flex both feet and stretch both hands. Exhale and soften. Visualize the breath going to your fingertips and the tips of your toes. Inhale, flex and stretch. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale, flex and stretch. Exhale and soften. On the next inhale, take the right arm up and overhead and lift the left foot to the sky. As you exhale, release them down. Swap sides. Right foot, left arm. And release. And this time, take both legs, both arms. Inhale and up. Exhale and release. Just pause and notice. Notice any shifts in your breath or in your body. Then place the feet flat with the knees bent. Lift the hips and place them down again, allowing the low back to sink into the mat, and then bring your knees into your chest. And notice how, as you inhale, the knees move away. And as you exhale, they come back. They move away. They come back. One more. They move away. They come back. Take the legs up to the ceiling, the feet stretching up to the sky, and keep the feet flexed. And then circle at the ankles, warming through those joints. You might get some cracks and pops. That's okay. And change direction. And then just let the knees come back into the chest. Stretch the hands up to the ceiling and then circle the wrists. Notice if one side feels different to the other. And change direction. Notice how you chose to move your hands. Are your fingers stretched out or swirling, or are your hands in fists? And release. And just rock a little side to side. Allow your left foot to come flat to the mat. Flex the right foot at the ankle and we'll take a gentle supine pigeon. So right ankle to left knee. And before you lift that left foot, just rock side to side. Let your hips move from one side to the other, and notice you have asymmetrical movement there across your hips, across your spine, so be gentle. If it's right for you today, lift that left foot off the mat and maybe take hold around the thigh. But again, be gentle. If it's a strong stretch, just move it back a bit. Don't make it its strongest, especially if you're feeling some discomfort with your sciatic nerve or from your sciatic nerve. And just rock ever so slightly, not a big rock, just a little rock, and you can feel the stretch spread through the right hip, or you may feel that. And then pause. And release. Take the right foot flat to the mat, flex the left foot and bring the left ankle to the right knee. Keep the foot flat and just take that gentle rock side to side. Again, noticing the asymmetry across the hips and the spine, and notice if that feels different. And then lift that right foot off the floor, maybe taking hold behind the right knee. And just ease back from that stretch. Don't make it too strong. And then let that rocking happen just side to side again. And release. Keep the knees into the chest. And take some circles, some mirror image. Your knees are going in circles, but really it's your hips that are circling. Warming through. And change direction. And if you have your hands on your knees, then you're getting that movement transmitted through your elbows, through your shoulders. And come to rest. Let your knees drop over to the left side. And sweep that right arm up to the ceiling and pause there. When your fingertips are stretched up to the ceiling, let your right shoulder sink down to the mat. Then point your fingertips up to the ceiling again so your right shoulder comes off the mat. And then let it sink down again so your body rocks a little. Just do that a couple more times. And then next time it's stretched up to the ceiling, so your shoulders off the mat, pause there. And then sweep that right arm all the way out to the right side, so you're coming into that supine twist with your arms out at a T. And your right shoulder may well be sunk down to the mat now. Notice if you're holding tension somewhere, maybe in your hips, and try and release that tension. Maybe take the gaze over to that right hand and visualize the corkscrew twist up the body across the spine, especially through the thoracic spine. And as you inhale, visualize that corkscrew turning slightly. And as you exhale, it turns back. On the next inhale, bring that right hand back up, through past the ceiling and all the way over. And push everything back to center, knees to chest. Hands to your knees and just rock a little side to side. Then we'll take that over to the other side. So allow your knees to drop over to the right side. Stretch your arms out. Take that left hand up to the ceiling, but pause there. Allow the shoulder to sink down, but the hand's still pointed up to the ceiling. And then stretch the fingertips up so the shoulder lifts off the floor. Allow it to sink. Allow it to stretch. Notice if you get sensations in one of your hips or either of your hips as you do this. And then next time your fingertips are outstretched to the ceiling and your shoulders off the floor, pause and allow then that left arm to continue its journey all the way out to that outstretched T position. Maybe letting your gaze go over to that left hand, sinking into that supine twist. And again, notice if there's any areas of tension, areas where you're holding yourself tense without even noticing. It's something I try to notice when I can't sleep, because I think I've said before, I find that I'm holding myself tense lying in bed, which is not conducive to a good night's sleep. On the next inhale, bring that left hand back up to the ceiling. Shoulder comes off the floor, and then take it all the way over to meet the right hand. And then push back through center. And before we rock up to sit, just take a full body stretch. Stretching through the hands, stretching through the legs. And just soften. Then you have a choice, either take your hands behind your knees and have a little rock and roll to come up to seated, or gently push up to seated, whichever is right for you today. Okay, let's consider how you wish to place your feet. You might want to just have them crossed. You might want to have your heels lined up. You might choose to have your feet the wrong way round, what feels like the wrong way round. Soften or close your eyes and just notice how you feel. Then on the next inhale, sweep the arms widen up. And exhale and bring them down. And again, wide and up. And exhale down. This time we're going to stay up there. Inhale, arms up. And just allow yourself to breathe. Then inhale and reach. Exhale and soften. Inhale and reach. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale and reach. Exhale and soften. Inhale and reach again. But as you exhale, take left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Easy twist. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, opposite side, right hand to left knee, left hand behind. 2 more each side. Inhale up. Exhale, easy twist. Gentle, not too strong. Inhale up. Exhale, easy twist. 1 more each side. Inhale up. Exhale, easy twist. Inhale up. Exhale, easy twist. Inhale the arms back up and interlace the fingers. Maybe pointing the fingers if that feels good today. And as you inhale, lengthen through the spine and reach. As you exhale, take a little side bend to the right. Inhale back up. Side bend to the left. Just gentle. Inhale back up. One more each side. Side bend right. Inhale up. Side bend left. Then inhale up and release. Let's meet in 4-point kneeling pose, tabletop. So wrists under elbows, under shoulders, knees under hips. Hands the width of your shoulders as well, not just from the side but looking down. Knees hip width apart. Just take some cat-cow here, so tilting the pelvis and drop the belly and lift through the chest as you inhale if that's comfortable. Exhale and go the other way. Tilt the pelvis around through the spine, chin to chest. And just take a couple cat-cow at your speed, how it feels good for you. And notice if you want to move a little side to side at the same time. So add in some intuitive movements if that feels good. No right way, no wrong way. Just feeling the stretch through the fascia. And then just come to rest. Inhale forward slightly. Exhale, curl into a sort of cat and then round back down to child's pose. Inhale, come back up to cow. And exhale, round back and down. One more, inhale up to cow. Exhale, round and down and back. And pause here in your child's pose. Notice your breath. If your hips are not reaching your heels, that's okay. You can put a cushion under them. Maybe keep your head on the mat. Maybe use a block for your forehead. But see if you can walk your fingertips forward a little so your arms are stretched out. And notice any sensations that arise down your back, down your shoulder blades. Then lift your head off the floor, just hovering, and walk the hands over to the right. Maybe taking the left hand on top of the right, so you can feel that increased sensation down the left side. And then walk the hands back through centre and over to the left. Maybe taking the right hand on top of the left. Notice the sensations again. And come back to centre. Inhale, come up through tabletop and fold all the way down to your front. We're going to take a wide-armed cobra, so take the hands to the edge of the mat, so at the level of the shoulders but wider than normal. And especially if you're feeling some lower back problems, make sure you're pushing the pelvis down into the mat so you're not crunching into the lower spine. So fingertips are pushed into the mat, but you're not putting all your weight in your hands. But inhale and lift through the chest for a cobra, wide-armed cobra. Exhale and soften. Inhale and lift. Exhale and soften. Inhale and lift. Exhale and soften. Inhale once more and lift. And stay if that's comfortable. But maybe take your gaze over to the right, stretching the arms a little on one side then the other. Then take your gaze over to the left. Just be gentle. But feel the sensations in your back, down the sides, around your shoulder blades. And then come back to rest. Take the hands under the shoulders, push back through tabletop, coming back to your child's pose. And just pause. Come back up to tabletop. Right knee to the right wrist. Take that left knee back as far as is right for you. That may be enough for your pigeon, and if you wish to fold over a cushion or bolster there, then do. Otherwise, you may wish to bring your right foot across the mat a little, only if it's willing. If it's right across the mat, flex the foot. Come up onto your fingertips and lift through the chest. And then fold down over a cushion or bolster if you wish, over into a snoozy sleeping pigeon. And sink into your pigeon as much as you can. Choose the cushion or position that's best for you. And just notice the sensations in one side of the body compared to the other. We have 3 more breaths here. Then gently come back up onto your hands, lift through the chest again, and then just roll onto that right hip to release. Come back through tabletop and push back to child's pose, and just have a little rock side to side, and then come back to tabletop. Other side, left knee to left wrist. Right knee as far back as is right for you. Choose the position of your left foot, but be gentle with it. Choose the position of your bolster as well. First, rise up onto your fingertips and lift through the chest. And then fold into your snoozy, sleepy pigeon. And notice the sensations on the opposite side and if they're different. Three more breaths. Rise up onto the hands and lift through the chest again. And then just roll onto that left hip. And again, come through tabletop and push back to child's pose. If you prefer, you can take a wide-legged child's pose and even across your bolster. Then gently come up and come to seated. Take the soles of the feet together. If your knees are up high, that's fine. You can use blocks or cushions. Take the hands to the ankles and lift through the chest. Hinge at the hips just as far as is right for you. And fold. Take the hands to the mat and walk back up. And just stretch your feet out in front of you. Or just take a seated twist. So, Left leg bends, left leg over right, right leg out straight or bend, your choice. Lord of the Fishes or half Lord of the Fishes. Try and make sure both sit bones are on the ground. Inhale and lift the right arm. Exhale and wrap it around the left leg. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, take it behind. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Release the head. Release the arms. Have a counter twist. And swap sides. Right knee bends. Right foot over left leg. Your choice with the lower leg. Inhale and lift the left arm. Exhale and wrap. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale and place behind. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Release the head. Release the arms. Counter twist. Just give your legs a little shake. We're going to lie down, but before you lie down, I invite you to put on socks if you've got them, or anything warm, and have a blanket ready if you wish, so that you don't have to get up again. Grab a strap if you've got one. We'll just do a couple of movements with the strap to release. And then just roll down to the mat and bring your knees to your chest. And just let your feet sit flat on the mat. And pause and notice how you feel. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Pull the knees into the chest and rock. And if you've got a bolster or a cushion, just pull it now under your hips. And we're just going to have a supported bridge. So, the bolster or cushion is under the sacrum, under the hips. Your bridge may be simply with your knees bent and your feet flat. Stretch the arms out by your side. If you want that stronger stretch, lengthen your legs. Stretch out one and then the other. And we just have a few breaths here. If your legs are stretched out, just bend the knees again and place the feet flat. And then take your feet in the air, legs up to the ceiling, and let your legs just hang there. Notice your breath again. Just let that aeroplane go overhead. Tune back into your breath and try counting but extending the exhale. So breathing in for 3 and out for 6, or in for 4 and out for 8. Using our breath to tap into the nervous system and increasing our parasympathetic activity. In for 3 and out for 6, or in for 4 and out for 8. Then slowly lower your legs, remove that bolster, and slowly and gently push yourself up to a seated position, keeping your eyes soft or closed. Notice your body and notice your breath, and keep that awareness with you throughout the rest of your day.